All right. Hi, everyone. I feel like the clustering of these talks is perfect. I think we need a new working group, like a network analysis working group. This is great that people are doing this work. Hi, I'm Sami Yasin. I am a software engineer at the Taskar Center for Accessible Technology at the University of Washington. And I am here to talk about the Walksheds tool. A lot of the concepts that the Walksheds tool is trying to tackle have been already discussed. So I'm going to go through the slides quickly and jump into a demo, because these are always fun. Live demos always go well. The Walksheds tool is a tool we created for evaluating pedestrian accessibility as opposed to bikes in this case, using OSM data. The core question we're gonna talk about in what a walkshed is, basically just the proximity of a place to a starting point does not mean it's actually reachable. And human beings are not like cars. We're not all the same. We have different abilities, and that means that some things that are reachable for some people are not necessarily reachable for others. So the steps that the tool goes through, these are the things that we're going to cover in the talk. Understanding the graph, what is actually in OSM when it comes to pedestrian features. And then we're going to take a look at the walkshed in the demo, and then we actually have an API that folks can use. Currently, I'm trying to connect this to the previous talks. Currently, we are focused on pedestrian, but I'd love to make our tool more flexible so it can actually be used for other use cases, like bikes. So yeah, we'll go quickly over some API example. To give you a picture of why this tool is needed for pedestrians, only 11% of US households live in the 15-minute city. And the idea of if you're not familiar with the 15-minute city, the idea is that you are able to reach essential services within these 15 minutes. So this is a great statistic. It means there's a lot of work to be done, but how do we actually find the work that needs to be done? How do we get on a local level, do the analysis on a pedestrian network of sidewalks and crossings and find out where the gaps are? And that's where the Walkshed tool comes in to help. There are also tools to measure access to services. One of them is called Safe Streets. This particular score uses different components like daily reach to a basket of essential services like healthcare, food, etc., education. It uses street safety, it uses transit reach, and walking comfort, things like noise, pollution, inclines, etc. The problem with this approach is that it actually usually uses, this particular approach uses kind of like as the crow flies, where basically from a starting point from your current location, it draws a circle, and then it does analysis on the infrastructure that falls within, say, for example, a quarter mile. And based on that, it will give you a score. Again, just because a grocery store is within a quarter mile of a circle within a circle does not mean that any person can reach it. Somebody who is a wheelchair user might not be able to access that particular point of interest. So OpenSidewalks is the pedestrian schema that we are using for this tool. I'm happy to report that it is compatible with the pedestrian working group schema, which we heard a lot about, and we're super excited to be in line with. And actually, that's another thing that I'd love to add to our tool is kind of making it more flexible so it can ingest different entities from OSM. So if somebody has a schema that is slightly different, they use a different kind of tagging. Hopefully the tool will be able to kind of deal with that. So we have here an example of what kind of OpenStreetMap tags, or I should call them entities, we have in our schema. Things like sidewalks, crossings, ramps, barriers, and surface and slope tags. And obviously, I feel like this is obvious to state at this point. The importance of using graph, and particularly connected graph, is key to any analysis of this work. The way the Walkshed tool processes this data from OSM, first we ingest the data, then we convert it into our data schema, the OpenSidewalks data schema. We make sure that it passes our validation. We have a JSON schema validation in place in the system. And then we are ready to compute and export the data that's being generated in the tool. Again, this is goes back to something that was covered as well, which is the concept of profiles. Just like for biking, people might have different priorities. Human beings are not the same. We have different abilities, and these are kind of captured in profiles. So you might have something like a normative profile. You can have something like a wheelchair user profile, electric wheelchair user profile, cane user profile, etc. Each one of them might have a certain tolerance for inclines and raised curbs, etc. And so our router actually deals with these differences. So the output of the tool, once it's run, you'll be able to see from a starting point or a destination what area is reachable. Over time, we're going to add additional graph signals and analysis. We currently have quality reports about sidewalk data in a different component in the system. Would love to kind of incorporate that in the coming future. And you're able to actually, in real time, make edits to the router and experiment with what if scenarios as well. So you can experiment, answer a question like, what if I added a curb ramp in this particular location on the graph? How much will that extend the reachability of a person? All right, the fun part. Let's do a demo. So I'm just gonna kind of walk through the different tabs and options that are there. You'll see that I already loaded into the tool portion of Seattle where we're coming from. You'll notice that in the visualization, the different colors show different inclines. Actually, Seattle is a very hilly area. You'll notice that things that are in lighter color means that they are flatter, easier to kind of traverse, and things that are darker in color, they are steeper. Struggling to zoom in with the touchpad, but we'll get there eventually. You're able to inspect the graph by clicking on different parts. So these are the tags. Basically, you can think of them as the OSM tags that are part of this particular edge on the graph. And then You can see on the left panel all the options available for a particular walkshed run, things like street avoidance. This is a 0 to 1 slider, so 1 means avoid streets at all cost, and you can lower that, and that's useful for areas, say, where sidewalks have not been mapped yet, and you'd like to still do some sort of analysis on these areas, or if there is a certain tolerance for things like service roads, etc. The other options that we are seeing, things like maximum uphill and maximum downhill tolerance. These are obviously extremely useful for wheelchair users. We see an option for avoiding raised curbs, and also an option for reverse walkshed. So this point can be the start of the walkshed as the origin, or it can be the destination based on the toggle. So if you can do both sides of the analysis. And then the last one is how long, what's the maximum cost you'd like the walkshed to cover, and you can think of it as a time. So 300 is like 5 minutes. How far can you reach from this point within 5 minutes? And you'll notice that when we do a run of the walkshed, that it's not really a circle. So that's where actually having a router and a walkshed is extremely useful. So you'll notice that once you have a walkshed, another thing quickly to talk about is you can see the different profiles that I talked about earlier: wheelchair user, electric wheelchair, cane user, etc. But we used a custom profile. Now, another feature in the tool is formulas. You're able to define formulas, so you can run JSON-ARA. The technology is called JSON-ARA on the JSON response from the server and show different scores. So what this means is you're able within the tool to define scores without having to compile and build code. And it's, with the availability of AI nowadays, you can just experiment with it and keep trying to find all kind of different scores like walkability, livability scores, etc. Some of the other things that you can see here is things like crossings, number of crossings, number of sidewalks, etc. So I'm just gonna go to the walkshed info for this particular run that we made. It's a very small area. You'll notice that all these numbers are actually defined by the user. And once you click on them, you'll see that it will highlight the particular edges in the graph that are relevant to that particular formula. So this is number of sidewalks, crossings, etc. And I made a custom one called healthcare for the healthcare facilities available. So another thing that the tool allows is, in addition to the base graph, you are able to build on top of it and what we call adjacent data set. And what that is basically another JSON data set that gets overlaid on the graph. So for this particular instance, I added a points of interest layer. And what that means is that it will capture the points of interest that are close to each edge of the graph. So it will tell you how many healthcare facilities are reachable within a walkshed, how many grocery stores, how many schools, etc. And then you're able to customize your own score and come up with what you think is optimal. So in this particular case, we saw that there was a number of 0 for healthcare facilities, but let's save this as A, and then you can rerun the same thing, maybe you can see the concept of scenarios here, so we can compare multiple scenarios. I'm gonna increase the length of the walkshed. This is a lot longer, so you would think there might be a healthcare facility within this. You can see the list of all the points of interest. You can see that there are actually 2 healthcare facilities in this particular walkshed. The cool thing also about this tool is allowing you to edit the graph in real time. I feel like that would be the last thing I'm gonna demo today. So I'm looking for an example, which is an unramped crossing. In Seattle, we have really good ramps almost everywhere. Here we go. I see one. So I'm gonna do a small, here we go, Walkshed. I should not have done the zoom. I was trying to zoom on the map, not the page. Oops. How do you reset zoom here? Control 0, thank you. I am not a user of this particular browser. I know, right? Struggle is real. Nope, Control 0 does not work in this browser. Thank you. Yeah, we got it. Thank you so much. There we go. Oof. All right. Walkshed from here. This is a really long one. I'm going to do a really small one just for the demo. I needed it to be close to this particular crossing. Here we go. You'll see that this particular scenario, you're not able to actually go through this crossing and end up at the opposite side. I'll call this before, and we're gonna go ahead. Oh no, there we go. And edit. So you're able to actually do edits on the graph in real time. And I'm gonna add a curb ramp here and save. And since we do split the crossings into 2 segments around the roads, I will have to do another edit for the other part. This is going to be really challenging. Hopefully this is it. Hopefully. This one already has curb ramps, so I need to do the other side. Oh, maybe it already has curb ramps. Okay, so I'm going to rerun this particular scenario. From here. Here we go. You'll see that now the blue is actually crossing where this used to be unreachable, but it's reaching less. I guess I must have changed the coast. Here we go. Perfect. So you'll see how the orange one is actually shorter than the blue one. Here we go. So you'll see that where I edited the ramps, added the ramps, that the Walkshed is now longer. So for the other folks, we have an API that I would love to have people start using. And basically what it allows you is to build the router for any region. And it looks something like that. You simply post. Right now, we have a system called TDI, where the data lives. You basically post the dataset ID, and then you start getting Walkshed results by passing these parameters on the right side. Yeah, I would love to talk and get people using it. Thank you.